one Monday more. Carmen, how are you?
Hello, Yasmina. Well, I'm doing well, but I think we've all been affected by this wave of, getting a cold, and so I'm suffering from it right now. And I'm doing fine within the circumstances.
I'm the same actually, and I have my tea prepared. I know it shouldn't be like that on a Monday. Maybe a whiskey or something, but guys, I'm sorry, I need tea. It's a way to start the weekend and the week strong, we can say. So today we have a special guest. I hope everyone is excited about it. Oh my God, we have the first audience saying hello there. So nice to be here again. So nice to have you here, Angelus, as well. And we have to introduce ourselves and then we introduce our guest that is amazing. Spoiler alert, it's going to be a really good program today. So Carmen, who are you?
Hi, I'm Carmen Junquera, also known as Carmeline. I'm a caster, host, and interviewer in esports, mainly in Wild Rift and League of Legends.
And I'm an intellectual property lawyer. I know it's quite boring in a moment, but we're going to introduce our guest, Cristobal. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi.
So,
How are you?
Cristobal, we are really excited to interview you. We know what you're going to bring us so much information and insight into what an esports management looks like. But I think I'm going to leave Yasmina the first question because I know she was really excited about it. So there you go, Yasmina.
Yes, my first question is the most important of everyone's. Who are you?
All right. Yeah. I have a very long name, but I like to keep it short. Chris is fine for everyone.
Okay.
I'm the managing director of Wave Esports. We're an international esports brand. Yeah. Maybe a bit about myself.
Yeah.
After finishing school, I signed up for Business University of Vienna, where I'm currently doing a double bachelor's degree of business law and international management. My course of international management, I'm also having a Spanish course, and then of course also interesting. After that, I founded a football academy for kids where I was training 2 teams professionally, and we were competing in the regional league of one team that's 10 to 13, and the other team is 13 to 15. Besides that, I founded an e-commerce business where I was selling different goods online that went very successful. And then a friend came to me, a good friend that I know for like over 10 years now. We've been gaming a lot together, and he asked me about this opportunity to enter the esports market. I looked into the market and I had interest as well. So that's how everything started. Yes.
So, Chris, how old are you for reference?
I actually turned 24 today.
What?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Happy birthday!
Yes,
And
thank
all
you.
the things that you done already. Oh my God.
Yes.
Carmen, I think we have to retire from here.
Yeah, I was thinking about the double degree, and I was like, okay, he isn't that old. He looks young, and I feel really old now. But anyways, you were talking about gaming with your close friend. What was the game that got you into esports, and was it League of Legends by any chance?
Yes, I played a lot of League of Legends. I played a lot of World of Warcraft. For 5 years, I was playing World of Warcraft. I played as well CS:GO. I played also mobile games. I like mobile games as well, and Fortnite, of course. As soon as it came out, funny story: the first time when I heard about Fortnite, it was really in the early stage. Nobody really knew about it. I played one game, and after the game finished, I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God, this game is crazy. It's gonna be out there everywhere. I really love it. And 2 years after, it was extremely hyped. And everyone was playing it.
Wow, I mean, it's really interesting and enlightening to see how you've come all this way. Like you start playing like a casual gamer, like many of us at home, that you've come to the point where you're like working for an esports team. So we're gonna delve a little deeper into that if you don't mind us. Yasmina?
Yes, actually, I would like to, if you can explain a little bit, how was that point of your life that you decided to start and fund up actually a team for regarding esports? So if you can tell a little bit, because I'm excited to know more.
Yes. So basically, my co-founder came up to me and told me, asked me if I would be interested in venturing into that business. Um, we analyzed the market, the Austrian market, but also the focus that we have in the German-speaking region, and we saw a gap that we wanted to fill and that we were able to fill. That's how it all started, and also why it motivated us to start all of this. I just saw a comment from Mason, who's our community manager. Cheers, Mason.
Oh, hi,
Thanks for
Mason.
joining. Wave check.
Hello. He's always welcome. If you want to join us one day, Mason, you can,
Welcome
Just-
here. You have an official invitation here in Esports Business Live.
Since you decided to create a club and your friend contacted you, what were the biggest challenges that you had to face? Because I imagine it wasn't easy creating a club from scratch. Something must have been difficult. So what was it?
The problem in the esports industry, especially when you start an esports club, we did it as also kind of a passion project, and it was hard to obtain the credibility of the community and prove that you're here to stay on the long term. That was a problem that we were facing, and at the beginning. Later on, we also faced a lot of challenges.
Okay, so we'll keep those challenges for later once we've gone to talk about the club itself and the good things, and we'll also talk about those little peeps that we find on our way. But I think now it's time to focus on Wave Esports, Yasmina.
I think the same. Actually, I would like to know more how this idea and this project developed. And by the way, I want to know why you choose the name Wave, because I found it quite original. Also, the logo, and I don't know why is the idea behind it. So I would like to know more about it.
Yeah, that's a good question. We came up with the name because we think that a wave is something dynamic, something with power, and I think these are all things that the younger generations embody, and that's one thing. And we see ourselves as well as a movement. We want to revolutionize the whole esports, but also entertainment industry.
Okay, so like wave as in like away from the sea, but also like a wave of people doing things and a wave of like music. So it's got multiple definitions for that word, which is always interesting to hear. But of course, when it comes to you, you hold a very specific position within the team, which is being the managing director. And I want to ask you, what does that entail? What does that consist of?
Well, we have different departments. We have a content team, we have a marketing team, we have the operations, the esports side, and I always try to talk to every department, coordinate it, and also make sure that everything is moving, and also lead a bit of the vision and the path that we're going. And I also try to talk to everyone that is involved in our organization, all the community, the fans, everyone, and try to gather feedback. I think everyone can't stop or shouldn't stop the process of learning, and should also hear about the people that are actually living it from a different angle, maybe. Yeah.
No, that's really quite challenging. I imagine it has to be really difficult to do it day by day on a daily basis. But I would like to know more about your team. So, of course, I think when I was doing the research, I found it that it's quite interesting. I think the audience is going to love it. But I wanted to know, for those who doesn't know, which games are you focused on, and if you're planning maybe in the future to focus on another one.
Yeah, currently, well, we started with Fortnite. We started at a good time where it was at the early beginning. Hi, Gregor.
Hi, Gregor. In I like the wave. Really, it's really nice
Yes.
game actually.
There are a lot of things you can do with waves. Also, the waves in League of Legends. It's always very
Oh,
funny when we play.
Clever.
Another wave comes. It's always funny. Yeah. But coming back to the question, we started with Fortnite 2 years ago, where we developed the best talents out there actually now in Europe. So, for example, Yanis said is one of the best Fortnite players, I would say, in Europe or in the world. So that's how we grew our community, how we started our legacy. We're the only organization that won 3 European championships in Fortnite. And yeah, after that, we ventured into Valorant. We see huge potential in Valorant, and we build the best German team, means the best German core. German core are three Germans in 2020, and now we made some roster changes and are extremely hyped for the upcoming tournament series, because we think, I would say, with one of the top 5 teams right now in Valorant
Wow.
in Europe. We also have a team in League of Legends, where we are currently competing in the highest league in the German-speaking region. So that's Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. It's called the Prime League Pro Division. It's also the division to qualify into EU Masters. Exactly.
so just to give you a little, this is a funny thing, but I might have cast your team.
Yeah.
I mean, I was host for Baltic Masters that also go to
Okay.
European Masters, so I might have casted your team in the past. It is interesting. I knew the team from somewhere, but I mean, that's a really big competition for League of Legends, and you've told us about Fortnite as well. You also compete in Brawl Stars, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, right. But more on a local basis in Austria. Yeah.
And then there is Valorant. So what tournaments, of course, some of these tournaments come from like winning the league you're playing in, or like qualifiers. So when you actually have to choose the events and tournaments that you take part in, how do you choose them? Like, is it in terms of visibility? Is it in terms of level of the enemy teams? How is it?
We always try to aim for the best. We see ourselves, and we live Wave as a premium brand, and always want to win and compete on the best tournaments out there. Of course, if there are some German tournaments, we compete in them if it's allowed, from the tournament organizers of the other leagues that we're competing in. We also always try to have somewhat of a presence in Austria when there's a league going on, for example, the A1 league. Yeah, but we focus mostly on international tournaments, international leagues.
Okay. Well, and the top ones as well, from what you've mentioned. So, all right, that's quite a feat for a team that is relatively new to the ecosystem to be so successful in such a short time. That is really to be recognized. So, congratulations on that one, Chris.
Thank you. We're super thankful. And also for the community that we have. I see in the chats a lot of people writing in.
I
Cheers.
love
Yay.
how they're saying everything. Thank you so much, guys, for being here and listen to Chris. And we actually wanted to ask you as well, because of course we are focused about how the team, how the different esports that you participate on and the tournaments. But I would like to ask you about What do your team bring to the industry? If you can say what makes you different from other teams, what is your personal brand behind it? And especially, of course, I see the community is one of them.
Yes, exactly. We really aim to have a strong connection to our community, and we would say that we understand our community and know what the interests are. We see ourselves also a bit of an entertainment and lifestyle brand. Means that we focus a lot on producing content and publishing it on the different media, heavily on YouTube, also now TikTok, Instagram, of course, and Twitter, and also try to have a bit of a family-like approach with our community, with the people that we work with, and embody certain interests and attitudes that the young generations can identify themselves with. Means that we're very laid back. Everyone can talk to us. We're not arrogant in any way. We're cool, if it's weird as it may sound, and we also have our fashion brand, Wave Studios, that is focusing on lifestyle streetwear. This
Nice.
streetwear is very in now among the young generations, like Off-White, Supreme. That's the direction we're going to.
Before we start, there may be a question, Carmen. I think maybe our
Yeah.
audience, we can show a video in order to see more about what it consists actually Wave, and to see how these 2 years that it has been in the ecosystem. So let me one moment, and I prepare the video for everyone. So be ready now. It has been
Why?
I love it. I really love it, and I can feel how much you have evolved in only 2 years. That's amazing, really
Yeah,
great.
it's crazy. Yeah, thanks.
And it is, but if we think about it, there is it is a even bigger accomplishment because your team was created in summer 2019. And we all know what happened a few months later. The pandemic hit, it didn't, well, I mean, the entire world. So I wanted to ask you, all of the things that we've seen here, you still kept on walking because obviously there wasn't any other chance, any other option but to keep on walking. You kept on winning competitions. How was it like to walk through such a trying time, through such uncertainty for your team and for everybody?
Yeah, I think it was hard for everyone, regardless of the market you're in or anything. On the one side, of course, we had an increase in viewership in general esports. Also, the gaming industry had a good push. But on the other side, there was part of the ecosystem that was having a negative impact, and in the end also impacted us. For example, like partners sponsorship went decreased because the first budget that a company um, eliminates in during hard times is the marketing budget, where sponsorships also fall. But in general, I have to say that we it was hard, but we survived it pretty well. Unlike other businesses that had to close down, it was really tragical.
I mean, you made it through, so I think that is a good indicative of how you managed the entire situation, which was unexpected, I think, for everyone as well. So another big feat, like not only making it out alive, but also like just getting all those accomplishments done and winning so many tournaments in between, getting partnerships as well. So that's another good one, Chris.
No, that's really nice.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot.
And actually, regarding the partnership, of course, I want to focus because in the video we can see some of them, like with
Mm-hmm.
Paul, and actually, I think you have a partnership as well with Logitech. So I would love to know more about this. How was this agreement? How they came from you, or how did it work for you as a team to actually have this kind of great marks behind you?
Yeah, from the beginning, it was of utmost importance for us to live our values and our vision with Wave, and we see Wave as a premium brand, and we only want premium partners with Wave, and we also feel responsible for our community because we don't want to promote stuff that we don't like or our community would dislike. And I think that's in the interest of every party, of our interest, in the interest of the brand, and in the interest of the community, and of course everyone that's involved. Uh, we did some giveaways, some Logitech gear giveaways, and it's insane how the community receives it. Like they really love their products, and for us, we couldn't feel better promoting products or brands that the community likes and we like. Everyone is just harmonizing. The same with Red Bull.
So, with such a wide range of games that you're involved in, I want to ask you what your target audience is, like what your community looks like from like a customer persona, we could say, and also if that impacts the way you choose sponsorships when it comes to maybe like getting an alcohol brand to sponsor you. Would that be an option, or would that be something that you would reject because of the target audience once again?
Yeah. According to our demographics, our target audience is mainly 18 to 24. But of course, we know that we get the demographics through YouTube, for example, or other insight tools. And we know that people, when they make accounts on the internet, they always
Oh.
hire their age. So we like to take the audience of a traditional Fortnite player, Valorant player, and League of Legends player, and then average it out in proportion to the followers that we have on the different channels and in the different games. We have a very community tailored social media strategy where we have a Twitter account for our Fortnite followers and a Twitter account for League of Legends and for our Valorant team. Bit like Navi is doing it as well. And we experienced really good results with that. So yeah, in regards to your second question, as of now, we wouldn't feel comfortable with promoting alcoholic beverages, and the same goes with betting partners.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, there are some teams that have been forced to exclude betting partners from like the official equipment kind of thing. So
Yeah,
it all goes very well with what we've seen in the video. Like different kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can also do individual packages. For example, for our League of Legends team, for League of Legends Reach, and there we would feel comfortable to promote, for example, a betting partner or an alcoholic beverage. It depends also. It's not a white and black. There are a lot of different ways to work around it.
Of course, and sometimes we have to take into account even the game, because sometimes the audience that they have one game could be another one. So it makes
Yes.
sense all the strategy
Yes.
that you're taking, Claire. And I wanted to know, of course, if maybe once in the audience maybe want to be part of your team, what would be the requirements that you search for it? And also if you work with influencers, because I think you did, especially in your video content, but let us know more about it.
Yes, we do work with influencers, and we have a very good influencer strategy for 2022, where we are in talks with different
Nice.
influencers. And our aim is always to enter an audience, enter a community that can relate with each other. Each individual can relate with each other. Each influencer can relate with each other and watches the content that the other influencer publishes. I think we at least had great results by having a uniform community where there are a lot of synergies and where each community, each part can contribute to the big picture. There are a lot of teams that are signing influencers from the UK, from Italy, from the USA. In the end, it's not really coherent. It's not having any meaning for the community as a whole. We always try to see the community as a whole and connect and have synergies.
And Chris, related to this, we've seen the wave recruitment challenge on your video, and I want to ask you, what was that about? And like, was it successful?
Yeah, we basically hosted an own tournament where everyone from our community could qualify, and we said that first place will get a spot in our academy team, in our Fortnite academy team. We did that 2 times. It went pretty well, and yeah, we were actually thinking of doing something like that again in the future. But yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
For sure. And now I wanted to ask you more something, because, of course, I'm from Spain and I would love to know more. How is the esports sector in Austria, and if it's easy or complicated to fund a team over there? And also, I would like to know more. I mean, maybe have you considered maybe to move to another country that you see more possibilities, or you think in your own country is actually you have a good chance to fund and growth as a team?
Yeah, I mean, the ecosystem in Austria is heavily underdeveloped. There are only amateur teams. We're by far the the biggest team with biggest reach and biggest international successes. And that, of course, also influences the whole ecosystem that could have a positive impact on us. Um, so that's why we actually also thought about moving to Germany, for example. But that's something that we were playing around with the thought. We're not sure. On the other hand, it's nice to be the only ones here in Austria, the biggest team, the flagship team of Austria, that can also have some positive impact. And for our community, it doesn't really matter because the younger generations don't really think with borders, and I think it also wouldn't make sense to think with borders in regards to the esports community.
That's true. Actually, you will be like our Mad Lions here in Spain, and so much teams that we have quite important. So that's really nice, and maybe people can be inspired from your team. That's so
Yeah,
cute.
sure.
And so we've seen examples like Team X7 and the Isle of Man associating with authorities where they are set. So in your case, it'd be the Austrian authorities. Have you been approached or tried to approach them to try and make some kind of partnerships or agreements, or maybe to be inquired about like what they could improve to become more prominent in the esports scene in Europe?
Yeah, I mean, we're member of the Austrian Esports Federation. They are the communication tool between the whole esports uh, uh, stakeholders and the politics. So we work closely with them, but we also have now direct contact to politicians because we have the feeling that with what we're doing, we want to have a greater impact and maybe also educate the people, because esports is a huge business. It's a huge ecosystem,
Yes.
and people are not really seeing it like that. And like with every technological, if I can say it like that, new thing that is coming up, Austria and the history of Austria, Austria has always been a bit of a step behind. Um, USA has always been like really far. Asia as well now. Europe in general a bit behind, and yeah, that's what I would like to change, because sooner or later it's gonna come. So the earlier you start adapting and opening the path for the stakeholders, the better it will be for general economic of Austria.
That's true. But also, it's quite important that I see that there are interest in it. It's true that no, of course, it's evolving, but at least there is interest. I think here in Spain it was quite difficult for the governors to start realizing how important is the ecosystem, and it takes years actually. Even when we have started to grow a lot, and it was like
Yeah.
realize it's quite important.
And I mean, from the talks that I had with, I would say, high-ranked politicians, I was telling them about the viewerships, about the prize monies, that they're 15, 16-year-old kids winning millions in tournaments from home. And there are millions and millions of viewers watching that. And they always had the same reaction. They couldn't believe it. And they were always saying, yeah, we have to do something. So that's also a bit of my mission that I see here in Austria, to bring that further and educate the people in the end.
You have more role than one.
So I want to go back a little bit because there's a question that's been on my mind. So when we think about teams, about certain teams, we think of a player figure, sometimes a star player. In your case, you had Giannis in your team. He won, then you said goodbye to him. I wonder if that affected in any way the way people perceived your team. Did you get, um, or maybe is your team based on like more figures rather than just one person? It's just a question that I've got here.
Yes. What what we basically like to do is, of course, have our star players, our star influencers. You can say it like that, and we try um, to be in line with the interests of our community or to maintain our community by having our own approach towards content and also towards building up a lifestyle brand. Um, we we don't want to sell products because we say, hey, look, this is the best garment. Of course, we focus a lot on the quality of our products, but we go out to our community to sell different products because we want them, or they have the feeling of that they can identify themselves with us, with our interests, with our values that we embody in our content, in our public appearance, and they want to take part of the movement. They want to take part of the wave in the end.
We can make a lot of jokes with wave at the end.
Yes.
We can use it any sentence at the end. Maybe
Yeah.
please hashtag wave.
And also, for example, when Yanis left, we had the same engagement rate on Twitter, on Instagram. It actually increased from time to time.
Oh.
And there are always opportunities that come up. And the good thing is that we're a young, flexible team that understands the business and understands the community and the different games. And we always take the opportunities. I would, I'm sure of that. Yeah.
And also, regarding this, I would like to ask if you can give any advice to maybe some people who would like to have their own team, which practical advice you will give them, if you can.
Yes. I would tell them that they have to find their role within the market. You have to be unique. You have to be an individual, and you have to know what you're doing. I'm seeing, or we're all seeing in the esports industry, players, teams that are entering the market with huge amounts of money and blowing it out of the window without really knowing what they're doing. And it's actually very sad because on the one side they're destroying the market for everyone and building mistrust on the people that are interested in this game, in this ecosystem. Yeah.
I will say
I don't want
hashtag
to.
your own wave.
Yeah.
And also, one thing that I'm personally very interested in is in Prime League, because you're competing against some of the academy teams for the most important teams in Europe, at least when it comes to League of Legends. So, do you feel, how do you feel about it? Because I can see some teams feel a little bit let down, as in we've got less resources. Some other teams do not treat their academies like part of the team, but more like an obligation by right. So, what is your case? How do you feel about it? And do you think you're competing in like under fair circumstances?
We treat, for example, our League of Legends team, we treat it like our Valorant team, and we focus much more on marketing them, on having them working with influencers, doing content around it. It's much more valuable for every player to market themselves and build up a brand behind every player. The professional esports is kind of the gateway to your community or to any community, and you can expand it or maintain it by marketing yourself and building a story. In the end, it's all about telling a story about everyone, every player, but also us as a team. And we also, in the Prime League, for example, we have a lot of players that want to join our team because they like our coach, they like our infrastructure. They know that they know that we know what we're doing, and I want to take part in all of this. We have a great community behind us that are always supporting also every new team, every new player, no matter where you come from.
Yeah, I mean, this question was based mainly on like, I mean, you got your household name there, also as the main team in Austria, but like you were competing against Schalke, against Unicorns of Love Sexy Edition, against Mouses Esports, against SK Gaming Prime, so the SK Academy. So like so many big competitors that might be like a little bit difficult to compete with them, but like it's clear that you've made an effort in doing such a good marketing strategy that like your community will support you over supporting like, let's say, bigger teams. Like bigger, is it like this because clearly you're a bigger team.
Or more, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I imagine that you have an important community actually in Vienna.
Yes.
That's always nice because, of course, you will feel more connection with someone who is in your own country. So that's wonderful.
Yes, but also in Germany.
Oh, great.
Actually, most of our communities is from Germany, and we're also often in Germany to do different content projects. We did a boot camp in near Stuttgart.
Stuttgart, that's nice.
Yeah. So we love our Germans out there.
Oh,
So
in case
send
anyone is
a lot
watching.
of love to our German audience, please.
Talking about the boot camp, I did want to know how did you organize it? Like, what was the planning like? Because I can imagine that within like the pandemic, it must be difficult to get like a certain number of people together in one house with all the restrictions. So, how was it, especially last year? How did you manage to do it and pull it off so successfully?
It was a huge challenge that we had to face. But we always try to act according to the law, but also do more than that, and be really careful. We tested all of our players before they left. Upon arrival, we tried to not make a big thing out of it with inviting too many players, and everything went well. You have to be careful with topics like that. But with the right measures, you can always come to your target.
Okay, so safety, that's the most important thing. So
Yes, it
important.
is.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
But of course, we can see the bright side now that the tournaments and everything is starting to be in face to face. So, how was it for the team? Are you excited to be face to face in tournaments and so on?
Yes, definitely. I can't wait for their first LANs. It's gonna be really fun, and everyone has huge interest in starting LANs, going there again. I think it's the right time ahead of us. I'm always trying to stay positive.
That's good.
Now,
Sorry,
Yasmina?
Carmen, I just want to say to our audience that if they want to start making questions, we can put it at the end. But we still have questions, right, Carmen?
Yeah, so in the same vein, but like I'm gonna be playing a little bit of bad cop here.
Oh my God, you're going to be the bad cop here?
Yeah, just like
Come on, Carmen, I'm the lawyer. I should be the bad cop here. But go on, I'll let you for today.
so. I mean, I'm thinking about these LAN parties and like live events being like challenging for some players as well because again they've had to play offline for so like online for so long that we always talk about rookies joining the leagues and being a little bit frightened or overwhelmed by the exposure, being in a stream and so on. Is this something that you're preparing for, like preparing them psychologically to face a larger audience? Is it something that you think won't happen with them?
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. And we are actually specifically aiming towards tackling that problem. Um, I think it's very important for players to have this tournament experience, this live experience where you're in front of an audience. You have to play, you're much more nervous, and this can influence your play style dramatically. We work with a mental coach, a performance coach that is actually talking to the players about that topic, and we want to do everything what's possible to get the right mentality, the right mindset for our players, because good players are everywhere, but players with a good mindset is not that easy
That's
to
true.
find. Yeah.
And sometimes even if they didn't have the chance with all the 2020 situation, that's the thing. You don't know
Yeah.
until you are there. So, but
Yes.
we will cross our fingers that everything goes well. And now I would like to focus more on the future. So, there is anything, any projects that the team is working on that maybe you can spoil here in Esports Business Life as exclusive?
Yeah.
Could be possible.
Yeah, I mean there are some things, some stuff I already said with a new content creator strategy, influencer strategy for 2022. We have a lot of people in mind that would fit very well, and we also open talks. Um, we are also venturing heavily into the crypto space, where we're also in talks with different partners. And we see a huge potential in crypto gaming. And I personally think it's going to disrupt the whole gaming market. And we will be there from the beginning. And I'm actually very happy that technologies like this are bringing out opportunities like the ones we're going to have.
And for you, personally speaking, what are your long-term plans? Because currently you're at Wave Esports, I can imagine you're focusing that as well as in your studies. But have you thought of something else that you would like to do? Maybe a project of your own, something that you're working on?
A project that is really grew more onto me is what I actually just mentioned: crypto gaming, blockchain technologies. If I'm not working for Wave, I'm informing myself about this market. It's basically everything I'm doing right now. Yeah.
So that needs to lead us to the question of, is Wave Esports going to have a token or not?
NFTs and so on. Yeah.
I want to know.
And we're looking into that possibility, yes.
That's
Okay.
interesting. Maybe you can just tell us in exclusive once it's arrived here, so we can make our audience to know that.
Sure, sure. Nothing is set in stone, but we're
That's
looking
true.
into any option. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Again, reminder for the public, you can send your questions if you want to. You have Chris here just for tonight, at least for this year. So just like,
Yes,
don't
to
be
take
afraid,
advantage
okay?
of it. Yes, and actually, if I would like to tell the audience because Carmen doesn't know, but he's here today. Is his happy birthday, so please, actually, you can say maybe not only questions, but also happy birthday. Is here on Monday. Come on, guys, come on. It's happening here in the most important show here.
I said happy birthday to him before, Yasmina. I was listening to him. I said happy birthday once again. Happy birthday, turning 24 today. which is like
Thank you very much.
amazing. Like soon you'll be closer to 30 years old, and then everything
Ah,
will seem so.
we still have some time. Yeah.
My God, 24, really. I still thinking about the dream time. Maybe we can get to retire or something. My God, you are so prepared, all the youngs. I'm so old. I hope.
Well, try not that old, but I mean, if you think about it, you and I couldn't be players anymore, technically speaking. And
Yeah.
I mean, we could be players, but like it wouldn't be so feasible because like upcoming talent is always arriving and being better at games that we oldies are. So, Chris, have you ever thought about becoming a pro player in the past?
That's true.
Yes, I did. Mainly in World of Warcraft. I was playing PvP Arena back then. I started with Burning Crusade, actually, so it was really kind of at the beginning. And my elo was 2.190. So
Which
that's
is within context.
which is on the higher end.
Oh, that's nice.
And I was pretty young, 14, something like that, or even younger.
And then you got old, and now you can no longer become a pro player.
I can become a player in a different way.
That's
In a
true.
different way, maybe. Thanks for that joke right there.
Feel the way. Actually, you are doing pretty well because I feel like the team is we are going to have received so much more news coming.
Yeah,
I'm sure about it.
yeah. I mean, yeah, we're 100% sure that next year is gonna be crazy, and we can't wait for it.
Are we
So,
getting a Wave Esports house?
A house,
Yes.
yes, maybe already in 2022. We'll see.
Okay, a gaming house for the team.
Yeah.
That will be really cool to see.
so now we have something for the future, and maybe we will have to bring you back and to see how much you have developed because for sure you're going to grow and grow as a wave go.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Oh,
That's right.
and also, Chris, I mean, the biggest thing that we forgot to ask you in this entire thing is like, while studying a double degree and managing an esports team, how do you find time for yourself or for your family,
Yeah.
friends, relatives?
The thing with my studies is that I'm really really close to an end.
Okay.
But as Wave came into my life, I started slowing down on the studies and focusing more on Wave because it's just happening now, and studies won't run away. Yeah.
And have anyone told you like maybe your family like focus on your studies and then you're like, wait, I'm gonna manage a really big team here in Austria, and did you like how was it
Yeah.
received? Because it's something that makes people skeptical.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna be like walking in esports. How was it
Yeah.
for you?
Yeah, I mean, for example, my mom doesn't even know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Just after seeing me in newspapers and stuff like that, she like kind of realized, yeah, he's doing something, but she still doesn't know what I'm doing.
Oh.
I can relate. I can
Obviously
relate.
wants me to finish my studies. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna take the opportunity to say hi to my mom. Hi, I know you're watching. Hello there.
That's so nice. But for myself, my mother doesn't understand anything that I'm doing. But when she saw something, it's like, it's so nice that you speak so well English. And I was like, that's the only thing that she realized. Thank you, mother. I love you. But she supported me somehow. At least she heard me. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's something that like older generations have to get accustomed to. Like esports taking such a big part in like within the entertainment industry, and it's been like clear day after day that we are kind of taking over traditional sports. So that's always something that they're gonna have to learn at some point.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
am guessing at some
Yeah.
point our parents will know about
Yeah,
this.
yeah. In general, the whole entertainment industry is being are in front of a huge change. No one of the younger generations is watching television or radio. All of the stuff that our parents would do or would know. Everyone is on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, live streaming, Netflix, maybe, yes, but we're in front of a huge change, and it's also everything has something to do with influencers, with uh, new personalities that are being born, and for me a pro player in Fortnite is not very far away from an influencer, a traditional influencer.
Yeah, and I saw that you have more following on Instagram than you've got like even on Twitter. So definitely a way of engaging, a very different way of engaging people, but a newer one and a similarly better one as well. So that's what we've a common for us.
That's true. So I think our audience is doesn't make any questions. So I think because it's your birthday, Chris, maybe I will let you go a little bit early. You deserve it. At least 2 minutes, 3 minutes before we finish.
Yeah, all
Because
right.
come on, it's a birthday. You deserve to be not be an interview. Of course,
Uh,
it's only an interview with so many so beautiful hosters here, and it's professionalism is quite important. But you deserve to relax a little bit. That's true.
I feel very charmed. Thank you for
Oh,
sparing me some minutes.
thank you for joining us. I mean, on your
Yeah.
birthday, I will have probably said no.
Please, Carmen, don't say that to our guests. We need them here. Don't say things like that.
Okay.
So I think we're going to close a little bit a minute early today for our special guest, Chris. It has been really nice to have you here, and especially to have this such a expo team that is so interesting. And we hope in the future to see more about you and your team, of course.
All right. Thank you very much for the invitation. It was really fun, actually, talking to you guys. Hopefully, soon again.
I hope so too. Oh my God, Cameron saying too. Oh my God, she does.
I don't have any more questions. I am just expecting all news and novelties that you will bring next time you come here when it's 2022 and you've revealed all of them already. So we'll
Yeah.
have to wait, but it's fine. So, Chris, thank you very much once again. We're gonna be saying goodbye to you briefly while we say goodbye to your audience as well. So, see you later. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.
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 So it has been
So,
really nice to have Chris here. It's a great
yeah,
team actually, and
I'm
Sabrina will
jealous.
have them. And come on, there is in Austria. I want to go there. I want to try this strudel.
I was thinking about being 24 years old, but yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't think about it on Monday. I want to
Ah,
have a pride week, not be so depressed.
go get the whiskey, Yasmina. Now it's the time.
It's time. It's time. Here, actually, it's not tea
It's not, it's been whiskey all the time. I
all the
knew it.
time. Please, audience, forget this. And it has been really nice to have you here, Carmen, as well.
Oh,
So we have to say goodbye. I know, but we will see each other the next week. For more content, please follow us. And if you like, please thumbs up. And don't forget that we have more esport during the week. We have our colleagues tomorrow from workers and so on, so on. So please follow us and see you next week, Carmen. It has been really nice.
bye.
Bye.